Hey, grade 9. Well done on a great first week. You are dealing with these transitions quite well. And of course, the new block schedule. And of course, I have to watch the times. So I have to remember you have a break right after the first hour. So my apologies for that. So I'm glad you're keeping track of the times. So just recap for today, we talked about the giver, and we talked about the different roles, or at least some of them anyways. We know that there's a role called the birth mothers, and there's population control, so 50 infants are born each year. And to a birth mother, we know the family unit, it was father, mother, and a boy and a girl. That's every family has that same setup compared to what we have today. We have very diverse families these days. We talked about the fact that the elders control everything. They also, the people are controlled through the speaker system. You could be reprimanded publicly. And then we talked about released or being released. There's what they perceive as positive. That's the elderly. They lived a full life and then they are released. Or the other positive one, even though it doesn't sound positive, and your opinion would be it's not positive, but in their minds it is, because they don't understand it any other way. And so when a child or a baby's born and does not fit the parameters or the setup of the community, that sameness, and so the child can be released. The only negative reason for being released is if you broke the rules continuously. Mother even spoke about there's no third chance, so they get a couple chances if they've broken the rules, and then of course the third error or mistake leads to a release. All right, and the beginning of chapter 1 had that plane make a mistake because they're not supposed to be flying over the community, and the loudspeakers state that pilot will be released. Okay, and the kids, they kind of joke about it when they make a mistake, and so it's something you don't joke about being released. So at least they know that, but at the same time they do know that there's in their mind anyways, they know there's a good side and of course a bad side. We know there's a contradiction between the different communities, that if it's a world of sameness, then why do the other communities have different rules or expectations, things like that? Wouldn't they have the same rules and expectations as the other communities? Wouldn't everybody be on the same page? So that's something to keep in mind as we progress in this novel. We did the first part of the summary notes for chapter 1, and so I will be posting that probably early beginning next week. And we talked about coincidence and not coincidence, and we did listened to three short stories or tales of actual events. But you had to decide whether it's a coincidence or not, and explain why. And then we did some review with Mrs. Scrivens on the writing process, the importance of proofreading your work, and that's going to be crucial for your research paper. We talked about that you could start your research paper anytime. For sure, by next week you should be get started on it, because it's due September 30th. And your projects, you should start around chapter 11, 10, 11. But some of you have already read this novel in previous years. That's fine. You can get started on it ahead of time, but be sure that you are staying with the class, paying attention, picking up the other information that you need. Okay, so aside from that, that was Friday. And so you have a great weekend. You be safe. And we'll see you Monday. Take care.